unexpectedly like busted in your mouth? Have you ever like sat and planned something for so long and then like what you were planning is just stopped going right? That's life, right? And I want to just come in and share like how I think about change and how I look at when stuff isn't going my way, or when like I want something to go a certain way and it's not going that way, or like how do I adjust, right? Because you gotta think, I'm a human, you're a human. Everybody goes through these things and nothing is perfect. Like you can sit and script out the best game plan that you can think of, but when it's time for it to happen, you got all kind of factors. You got internal factors like your self-thoughts. You got external factors like what might be going on, like you need Sarah over there to do something in order for you to be able to get to the next step, right? It might be factors like that. And then it's just stuff that you don't even know about. It's like stuff you don't know, and then it's stuff that you don't even know you don't know, right? I call those the unknown unknowns. And part of my journey is to figure out all of the unknown unknowns, but that's another video for another day. Edward Whitfield, OG Fly Guy. Like, comment, subscribe. But I just wanted to say, like, okay, I played football growing up, playing sports, so I like to look at everything like sports. So it's like, in football, you only get 3 timeouts per half, right? So it's like, you can't, every time somebody's lined up wrong, you can't call a timeout and start the play over. You gotta audible, right? You gotta adjust the play at the line, right? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like life is about audibles, right? You can put together, like, let's say you wanted to be an accountant, and the steps to become an accountant are you gotta get a certain degree, obtain certain certifications, have certain training hours, then you gotta get hired to a firm, right? So it's certain steps along the way. Now that might be a year journey, 2-year journey, 3-year journey, depending on like where level you're starting from. So identifying those steps first, that's the thing. That's step 1, right? So you want to identify those steps. And then now, after identifying those steps, you want to be able to execute those steps. So you have a timeline in your mind. So you're like, okay, I'm going to get this done by, like I said, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, depending on where you are. But sometimes shit happens. It's life. Shit happens. Right? And what are you gonna do? You're gonna say, forget it. I'm just not gonna become an accountant. No, you gotta progress. You gotta make audibles. You can't call a timeout all the time. And you gotta figure out ways around it. Like, that's literally the difference between somebody who did and somebody who didn't, right? Everybody go through shit. It's just, what type of person are you? Are you the type of person that's gonna allow the shit to happen and don't do anything about it? Or are you the type of person that's gonna take the shit head on, understand the shit, and fix the shit, right? Like, everybody has problems. There's nobody that made it successful without going through some type of shit. So it's like the whole purpose of this video is to help understand, like, what do you do when shit doesn't go right? You gotta call the audible. You gotta make an adjustment. You gotta rearrange your plans, right? As long as you still got breath in your body, the battle is still to be fought. The war is still to be won, right? You're not done until you're dead. And if you're still here, you still got a fighting chance, right? So I ain't gonna make this too long, but just wanted to come in and share, like, even me, like, shit doesn't go right. I want to say damn near most of the time. But what can I do? I can't sit and sulk and be like, oh, woe is me on that type of shit. Hell no. You gotta understand what's going on, re-navigate your plans, and put shit back in motion, right? So if I could get that word to somebody who's going through some type of shit now, right? Like, don't think this is the end, right? This is actually the beginning. The darkest part of the day is right before the light come up, right? And destruction always follows intention. It's ordained in the Bible. Just understand the first few words of Genesis, and you'll see when the Lord said, let there be, there's darkness, right? The darkness is the first thing that came upon the creation of the greatest, which was the world. It was dark, right? And then came the rest, right? So I'm saying that to say, whatever you're going through is just a season. You're gonna get through as long as you go through and don't try to avoid, right? So like, comment, subscribe. Edward Whitfield, OG Fly Guy. Follow me on Instagram at OGFlyGuy2_. And if you needed a word for the day, it's get through, right? Let's go.